Alright, so I just watched Shazam for the first, second, third, freaking forever billionth time, and yeah, I'm still in love with it. So I personally love the movie, and I know a lot of people agree with me on this. But my friends I was watching it with didn't feel the same way. Now, I'm not going to rant on people with different opinions to mine, but I do want to say that yes, this movie can be very dumb in some cases. But the reason why this works for all the people that love it, including myself, is the characters. Now, I don't think it's much of a surprise to many people who watch my videos that I love character-driven movies. The reason for this is because I just think you can get so much more depth out of a film if you know the characters front to back. Take some of the top-rated films of all time and see whether they're driven by character or plot. Shawshank, Dark Knight, Return of the King, Forrest Gump, Seven, Interstellar, Leon. Should I go on?
Like, it would be nice.
Joker, Inception, Empire Strikes Back, The Two Towers, Matrix.
Okay, we get it.
But Teddy, Captain Marvel focuses on character and you hate that. Yeah, for sure. But one of these has a protagonist that is abandoned when a child, and another, she falls off a rope and she has to believe in herself. Boy. What makes a good character is the human elements of them. How can we relate to them? How can we sympathize with their motives? Which in this case, with Shazam, we see Billy Batson feeling like he has to do everything on his own, and believing that once he finds his mom, his life will be in order. But what he really realizes is that what he truly wants is right beside him all along. A family that loves for him, that accepts him, that does what's best for him. But it's not just Billy Batson. All of the characters have something unique about their character, and something that we can share empathy with. Except for Eugene, but he has one of the best lines of the movie, so I don't even care. Every character has motives. Every character has something that they struggle with. Freddy has his disability. Rosa feels like she's not a good parent. Dr. Savannah isn't loved by his father. Darla deals with her confidence in speaking her mind too much. Mary feels like she can only fit in with her family. And Pedro struggles with his grades in school. On the other hand, let's take Spider-Man Far From Home. Now, before I start complaining, I should say that I like this movie, but the one thing that is missing is character. None of the characters in this movie have any actual character. They only have personalities. Now, excluding MJ and Peter because they are the main protagonists in the film, but tell me something about Ned's character. Tell me something he wants, something he struggles with, something that we can connect with. And please don't say trying to get with Betty. Tell me a character for Flash, for Brad. I'm still not over him, by the way. For the teachers, even Aunt May doesn't have a single speck of character in this movie. Now, this is just an example that came to mind, but my point being that this is becoming the norm nowadays. With Ant-Man and the Wasp, Captain Marvel, Venom, Dark Phoenix, Aquaman, you get the point. The driving forces of these should be character, but we're missing that. This final cathartic scene that brought so many emotions to me in the theater is all because I love each character, who end up saying the magic word, Shazam. The moments that stick with me isn't Shazam's first flight. It isn't the fight between Dr. Savannah and Billy. It's when Billy hands the tiger to the little girl, the tiger that he was never given as a child and has spent the majority of his life trying to find. It was when I saw Freddy fly for the first time, and reminded me of when he told Billy that heroes fly, and how he is so desperate to become that hero so he can leave behind his disabled body. It was when Mary didn't want to go to college because she values her family more than anything, and how Billy could and did learn something from that. It was when Rosa realized that Billy had found his true family. This is why this scene works. We value each and every one of the characters' past they're going through. Shazam is great because it prioritizes the right things. It knows it can have goofy special effects, it knows it can have corny dialogue, but it also knows that none of that matters in comparison to characters and what they experience during their journey throughout. The comedy isn't there just to make us laugh, although it succeeds very well at that.
I'm Batman.
Get him, Batman!
It's there to make us feel human and honest. Superhero flicks just don't attempt things that Shazam does. They don't show a kid without a mom because that mom felt like she couldn't take care of him and didn't want to hurt him, not knowing that it would hurt him even more by doing that. I don't see movies that show someone whose life goal is to become something, but then have his friend get that one thing, even though he didn't want it. The comedy shows the surface level of this movie, a fun, lighthearted superhero movie. Well, the deeper you dig, you find that this movie is so much more, which in essence is symbolic of Billy's life. A fun, action-packed lifestyle with no consequences, but who really is an abandoned kid longing for someone who doesn't care about him to actually notice him and give him the love that he's been missing for most of his life. Shazam works for me because of things like this. The ability to try something different, fun, creative, honest, and human. Shazam is all about humans and how they cope with the everyday life, how they are resilient and held together by each other, by the characters that we need to notice more, the side characters that often get overlooked, but are really the reason why our main character is the way he or she is. Shazam will always hold a special place in my heart, not just because of the magic word, but because it shows us how every character matters. Go watch it.